Hey folks, Mr. Dell here. We are looking at a simple interest problem, and we have two situations. We're going to compare which one would be best. So this is coming from CPM Course 2, Section 7.1.8, and it's number 7-90. It says, Ida wants to buy a car, but she currently does not have any money. The car she wants costs $2,500. Consider her two options and decide which loan she should take. So, first option, she could borrow $2,500 at a monthly interest rate of 4% simple interest and pay the total after 12 months. Write a simple interest expression and calculate what she would owe at the end of 12 months. Okay, so with this situation, remember simple interest. Simple interest is saying you find that it's an interest rate, in this case 4%, but it's 4% of your principal and your starting amount, and that is the interest that you then collect or is collected, in this case monthly, for 12 months. So let's walk through this. So to find interest, simple interest, you take your interest rate, right? Your interest rate of your principal, right? Principal, remember, is that initial amount. Okay, principal is the initial amount. Interest rate of the principal, that equals whatever that interest, that's the interest. And then that interest is calculated. So your interest rate of whatever that rate is of your principal is equal to that. That's the interest. That's the money amount. And then that is what you owe, depending upon how many months. In this case, 12 months. So it's a monthly interest rate. So my expression, how do we do this? The expression is going to be 2,500. And I'm going to add to that my interest rate. So I have to take 4%, and 4% is my rate. But in order to use it in my equation, I have to make it into a decimal or fraction. So I'm going to make that into a decimal. So I'm going to use 4% is equal to 0.04. So it's 0.04, 4 hundredths, right? 4% is 4 hundredths times, and then I'm multiplying that times my actual principal. So that's my rate. 4% of that is my rate. That is my interest that I'm getting, that I'm having to pay every month. And I'm going to do that for 12 months. So I'm going to, whatever this becomes, then I take in that and I multiply it by 12. So I take this interest, right? This is my interest rate. This is the interest money, not rate. That's my rate times my principal. That's the amount of money. So that amount of money is then going to be multiplied by 12, because that's how many times I'll have to pay that interest. All right, so that's kind of that expression that I've got to then crunch the numbers for. So let's just do that. So 4% of 2,500 is 100. So 100 then times 12 is 1,200. So my total amount owed will be my initial amount, 2,500, plus the total interest over 12 months, and each month was $100. And that's going to give me a total of $3,700. So that's how much I'll owe, or Ida will owe, after 12 months with this plan. Okay. All right, let's figure out another plan here. So she said she could borrow $2,500 at a weekly interest rate of 1% simple interest and pay the total after 12 months. So now, again, I'm starting with that 2,500, but my interest rate is 1%. Seems better than 4%, but instead of calculating that interest rate 12 times, I'm going to calculate it weekly for 12 months. So an entire year of weekly, right? So we're going to use this 1%, and we have to get our multiplier, so it's 0.01. So it's going to be 0.01, and I'm going to multiply that times my initial amount, correct? And then I want to take whatever that rate is, it's going to get applied 52 times. I'm going to multiply by 52. Okay, so that was my rate, and that's my multiplier that I'm using because I'm trying to find 1% of 2,500, but it's being applied 52 times because there's 52 weeks in 12 months, 52 weeks in a year. So let's do the math here. 1% of 2,500 is 25, so it's $25, but $25 every week. So 25 times 52 is, what is that? 25 times 52. Let me make sure I'm doing this right. Yeah, is 1,300. So it's the initial amount plus the interest in this case is 1,300. So my total will be $3,800 after this loan. So looks like the first loan is the better loan. This is the better option because you're only going to owe, IDA's only going to owe 3,700. This one, IDA's going to owe 3,800 after all said and done, the actual initial amount. And so the interest, you notice the interest, even though it's a smaller interest rate, it's being applied more times. And that's what brings it up above this amount of interest being paid. Okay. So she should take, we should say, IDA should use the 4% at 12 months loan. Okay. All right. There we go.